What highly illegal thing took place at your high school? Our football coach took off with one of the girls in the high school and moved to Mexico and married her. He had a wife and kids. They then hired a brand new football coach who was 23 years old. Before the end of his first year, he was hooking up with an 18-year-old senior girl. They also took off and went somewhere. We went without a coach for a couple years. A teacher sexually harassed like 12 students. The issue is everybody loved that guy. He won Best Teacher award like 2 days before his arrest. PS no, this isn't Persona 5. This actually did happen. I'm not making a clever joke about Kamoshida, although I probably would have. Had a guy selling heroin. After that there was a weekly police presence. Also, a kid bound a girl to a chair, gagged her and stuffed her in a cupboard in the woodworking shop. He claims it was to help her complete the sponsored silence she had been doing that day. The cheerleaders got caught selling morphine. The football team got into a brawl with a rival school at a local pizza place over said morphine scandal. A huge fiasco over a kid putting baking soda and vinegar in a test tube and sealing it and taping it under a lunch table till it exploded. Edit. To clarify, the baking soda vinegar incident was completely separate from the morphine and brawl one. Sorry for the confusion. My golf coach got arrested in Kansas for driving with a spare tire full of cocaine. Idiot, you put air in tires. Half of my school burned down because some idiot thought it would be a good idea to light a wrestling mat on fire. Pro tip, wrestling mats are very flammable. Weren't able to have sports all year, talent shows and concerts in the auditorium. Benefit was we got 2 weeks off from school while they vented cleaned up the mess. All I can remember was the kid was a minor, so the parents pretty much owed millions to the school. Update. Just googled the kid's name and found out he died a year later in a car accident near the school he transferred to, because he was expelled obviously. Over spring break one year, the entire hockey team and the cheerleaders all went to rehab. The goalie was dealing coke to all of them. Sounds like a bad goalie letting them all score. The principal hired a bunch of students to sell steroids at the local gym. The same principal gave the same students a list of kids who were questioning their sexuality with the counselor, before XRs were a thing, and they all had their lockers bashed in with a baseball bat. One of the kids had his parents notified and was beat within an inch of his life. Art teacher used to hotbox her classroom and then use the kiln fan to pull all the smoke out. Edit. Sorry, that is confusing. Okay. Principal organizes mob. Mob beats up gay kids. Mob calls super religious parent and outs gay kid. Parent beats gay kid. Parent gets anger management and community service because they are an influential community member. A bunch of the guys had a fight club. It had been going on for years. No face hits, and there was a below 18 and above 18 group, so if they got caught nobody got assault on a minor charges. It was actually really well planned and had been going on for years. Until one dumbass junior broke the first rule of Fight Club and posted a video. A bunch of kids got suspended. I think a couple of the seniors got probation or different. Edit. I think it's wild how many of you ask if we went to the same high school. I've gotten multiple different countries and at least a 15-year range. Murder. A kid in the grade ahead of me murdered his sister behind the high school. An acquaintance of mine helped him bury the body. Edit. Wow, this blew up. So this guy was in my English class when I was a sophomore. He was a junior. He was a tennis star on the school team. Seemed real straight-laced. I didn't know his sister. It's rumored that he abused her and she was going to tell, but it's just rumor. What did happen is that they had an argument behind the high school and he hit her over the head with a flashlight and killed her. He and his friend, a guy I knew casually, buried her in a shallow grave outside of town. For your information, small town, Central Oregon. I'd link to the case, but it's hard to find anything online. This happened in about 1987, pre-internet. Anyway, she was just missing for some time, many months, when hunters discovered the grave and shit went from there. Edit 2. If anyone can find the info online, that would be cool. I can't find anything. The guy's name is Brian Ford and this happened in Bend, Oregon in about 1987. Two students planned and carried out a coordinated attack on one of the math teachers by waiting by the top of the stairs between periods, and when he passed by them to go down the steps, one of them pushed him from behind while the other put his leg out to trip him. The teacher fell down the steps and broke his neck and back and was paralyzed from the neck down. The kid's reasoning, because one of them was dropped from the basketball team because he was failing that teacher's math class. Both of them were 15 years old, so they didn't get jail time, they both got expelled and were sent to juvenile detention. The teacher sued the school district and got a settlement in the lower 7-digit range. We had a softball coach sleep with his students. But a far more interesting story that didn't technically take place on school grounds. There was this kid who was constantly being harassed by bullies. They would even follow him after school and attack him. So there was this hardware store across the street and a lot of kids would hang out in the parking lot after school. The bullies chased the kid inside and cornered him in the garden section. They kept hitting and kicking him, so the dude grabbed an axe from one of the shelves and just started swinging. All the bullies ended up in the hospital with various injuries. Security camera got the whole thing, but I can't remember now if Jim Lee, son of Gloin, was charged or if it was ruled self-defense. Update: I followed up with my sister who actually knew the kids involved better than me. She was closer to their age. The news articles that came out at the time didn't really talk about the pattern of abuse that led to the axe kicking, but she did confirm that Jim Lee was sent to juvenile corrections for a while. She remembered when he got out, and as far as she knew, he was doing well. Edit: thank you for silver and gold. Edit 2. So I thought I left things vague, but apparently this incident was unique enough that people have found some of the news articles. There are more details about the subsequent legal action in those for interested parties. There were 4 freshmen in the bathroom stall just vaping, and a teacher came in, so they freaked out and didn't want to get in trouble, so they thought calling the cops on the teacher for harassment would get them out of trouble. They got expelled an hour after the cops arrived. We had a science teacher say, if you don't put goggles on, I'm going to have to spray you in the eyes with Lysol, which was probably not illegal until the student tried to call her bluff. She wasn't bluffing. And that's how the legend was born. Carol. She didn't wear her safety goggles, now she doesn't need them. 6 or so years ago, before jewels were even a concept, a buddy of mine would buy disposable e-cigarettes online in bulk, then sell them to the other students at a huge profit margin. He did this all the way through graduation and never got caught somehow. Dude had to have made at least $10,000 over time doing that. He was the plug and sold those things like there was no tomorrow. There was also the geometry teacher who got caught sending pics to freshmen. I have absolutely no idea how, but he somehow managed to keep his job. Little bit of backstory first. Our school had a big renovation ongoing, and because of that, almost half of the school was closed down. The closed part included the biggest bathrooms, and because of that, the school administration ordered 2 toilet barracks to be placed on the schoolyard. So, some 7 9th graders decided to buy some toilet pipe opener liquid, I don't know what is the correct term, and aluminium foil. They put the aluminium foil inside some plastic bottles and poured a little pipe opener in them with the foil. As someone has probably done this before, knows what is going to happen next. They stuck 6 bottles total inside the toilet bowls in every stall of one barrack and blew them up due to the chemical reaction between the foil and the opener. All the pipings of the single barrack were destroyed due to the water pressure inside the pipes. Turns out that the 2 barracks had connected pipings, and the water that was in the bowls in the other barrack shot up to the ceiling due to pressure. The students never got caught, and if I remember correctly, the incident ended up costing a hefty amount for the school administration. The barracks were taken away and were replaced with new ones. After the incident, every recess there was a teacher in front of the barracks monitoring everyone going in and out. Nothing happened to the new toilets. A film crew lied about what kind of film they were making. Turns out it was porn. So my high school is the setting of the film The Cheerleaders. Pretty sure that's illegal. Yeah, it's pretty tame. What do you want from me? I live in Cupertino. Subscribe or Dizzy Panda will visit you with an axe.